And we're live. Hello, hello. And welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Missed Wednesday's stream because I screwed up my sleep schedule a bit with the late stream and then staying up to watch another stream. But back now. And today we're getting in on the Red Mage quest for Stormblood. No Heavensward ones to do this time. Or wait, I suppose we did. There were no Heavensward ones to do for Astrologian after either. But it's time for Sorin to catch up with X'rhun and Arya. Sorin, Arya, while there were lessons to be learned as I dragged you along my quest for vengeance, this time I offered a more structured approach to your training. With the support of you and your companions, Curtis's daughter has liberated Alamigo. But rather than returning this moment of glory, I feel I can contribute more to the rebuilding of my homeland from without. It was 2 decades ago that I joined the revolutionaries. Your motives were just. It was our actions that ultimately created a breach for the Empire to exploit. My time at the forefront of that stage has ended. Return to it now would only invite confusion and resentment. The revolution has since become the resistance, and the right to shape the future of Alamigo now rests in the hands of those who will live to live to coming age. No, I shall play my part by nurturing a new generation of red mages. I made my mark as a crimson duelist, but you will not be bound by my oath. You are free to decide for yourselves how best to employ the skills that I teach you. Now, as for your studies, you are well aware of my proclivity for practical application. We must challenge you of a new frontier, a place where the strong gather in search of adventure. To Eorzea, my friends. Oh, off to Dravania then. I'll see you there, Arya. Feels like has been a wee while since I've had cause to head out that far. I suppose I can't really say that far, given how far away Kugane and Adoma are. Oh, there they are. X'rhun? Young Arya has invested in her appearance, it would seem. Doesn't she look the part? All got the red going. Right. Let's break in that new equipment. There's a hostile organization of goblins known as the Illuminati making trouble for the people here in Eorzea. The most prominent threat to the populace seems to be the mechanical soldiers controlled by Illuminati aggressors. I say we do the locals a favor by using these clunking contraptions as combat practice. Right. I certainly don't have any qualms about helping deal with the Illuminati. After your battle with Lambard, however, that may be all they amount to. Especially for you, Sorin. Your mastery of red magic is such now that I dare say you could handle a mechanical soldier or two on your own. As for you, Arya, your spells have raw power but lack refinement. I think I would prefer to have you training alongside a partner. I wish to try fighting alone. Please understand, before I began learning magic, I felt like I scarcely existed. But when I work to match you and Sorin, when I see myself improving, that's when I feel the most alive. I want naught but more than to become a full-fledged red mage. I want to stand at your side and fight as your equal. Well, far be it from me to stop you. Mayhap the perfect way to conquer your difficulties with white magic is to be alone in a situation which offers you little recourse but to rise above them. Both of you should head now towards the Architecon and find your own mechanical foes to overcome. I'll be waiting for you here in the Maker's Quarter. Right. Well, off to deal with some Vangobs. I suppose that the Illuminati is still going strong. That shows it was more than just the leadership of Quickfinks carrying them on. I hope they don't do anything like trying to reactivate Alexander. It's kind of ominous he's still standing there just watching over. Right. Where might there be some Van Gobs? Well, there. This seems as good a place as any to keep one. Oh. Yep, there we go. Extra grenades. And there we go. This run might have been right, I think. After everything else I've been fighting my way through, these kinds of enemies don't offer much of a fight. X'rhun? Are you still out there then? Ah, I've come to recognize that confident step. Well done, Sorin. Did you happen to spot Arya on your travels? Unless I've sorely overestimated her abilities, I would have expected her to arrive not long after you. Arya did seem intent on proving herself. Pray forgive the tortured metaphor, but I have a feeling she may have sliced off more than she could fry. Come, let us seek out our young mage and render aid if need be. Right. Suppose if she is still struggling with the white magic side of things, then she is hurt. Maybe she just can't. Just struggling to get back. I was taking Morph side, maybe. Oh. Arya? Seems to have been doing the work. You feeling okay? Sorin, I did it. I won. I can see that, but Sorin, there you are. Is Arya unharmed? She seems to be. A little tired? Why, that is a fair gathering of goblins. From the looks of it, defeating this lot took almost everything she had. How can you walk, my friend? I've never seen you so... Arya? That's... Give them to me. Life energies. Souls. I must feed. Arya? Her hair, she's become like Lambert. Stop this, Arya. There's no use. The hunger has taken over. We'll have to knock her senseless. Right. Sorry, Arya. Oh. It's back to normal. I suggest we take her back to Eorzea and let her rest or throw in his establishment. I only hope she will be more amenable to discussion when she awakes. Yeah. She's... I mean, like, Lambert, that's... It's not good. We need to... consume souls to stay alive. If her hair returned to normal, it... probably still reversible, right? Certainly so. Did find out too much about what ended up Lambert the way he was. Arya? What happened? Did I truly attack you? I hate to say it, but yeah. Gods, why would I do such a thing? I remember defeating that contraption. I remember falling to my knees, exhausted from spellcasting. I remember my thoughts fading away as a roar in my head grew louder and louder, and then nothing. I don't understand what possessed me. Never would I draw my blade on you, X'rhun. X'rhun? What do you make of all this? This was poor judgment on my part. I should not have tested you so harshly. Listen to me carefully now, Arya. I have seen how battle can exhaust you, but I failed to understand what grim truth such exhaustion presaged. The moment you say a roaring drowned out your thoughts, the color of your hair changed quite distinctly. We witnessed a similar transformation in Lambert ere he began to feed upon living Aether. Lambert was able to employ magics of incredible power, but it left him hungering for life force. I believe what you experienced was a surrender to that very same hunger. It cannot be. My erstwhile colleague described how he enacted a change in his physical being. While I suppose it is possible such a ritual was performed upon you as well, he mentioned a process requiring many years. Excuse me? You have many more questions, I am sure, but for now, you must rest. If this hunger takes hold when your Aether is exhausted, then it is even more important that you recuperate from your exertions. And, Arya, do not despair that you have lost yourself. After all, you are in perfect control now, are you not? I am. Thank you, Sorin. Sorin, we will seek to cure Arya's condition. Though I have little knowledge of such forbidden arts, I am confident that a determined expedition will yield the answers we require. Prepare yourself for another journey. Always ready for another journey, sir. But where do we start? Are you ready to depart? The journey I have in mind will take us to the mountains of Garlemald, where we will visit the ziggurat built by the Red Mages of Eld. Lambert and I once explored those ancient ruins, searching for knowledge of the first incarnation of red magic. That was long ago, before we met Curtis and joined the Revolution. Before I realized the manner of hidden wisdom for which Lambert had been truly seeking. Now, the edifice itself has now been overrun by X'rhun, but a further expedition could still unearth something of value. Mayhap even the secrets behind Lambert's occult transformation. Arya, my friend, I must ask that you remain here and continue your convalescence. And no spellcasting. Not even a lick of flame to light a candle. In your weakened state, you know not how suddenly the hunger might return. Yes, of course. Just the thought of what might happen is enough to make me feel ill. I'll be fine in my sickbed, but what of you two? Are you really going to travel all the way to Garlemald just for me? What would you do if the positions were reversed? If Sorin were afflicted by a condition and you knew a cure might be found beyond the mountains? What then? I'd be out the door in a moment. Arya? Thank you. That you would respond so emphatically is the reason we have no qualms about doing the same for you. Arya's worked so hard to master her skills, and I imagine it'll be hard to refrain from training for a while. She must recover from her exhaustion first, before aught else. Come, Sorin. The ziggurat awaits. Rest well, Arya. We shall return as swiftly as we are able. Right. I think I've been to the ziggurat before, back when I was first visiting Alagana. Didn't realize it was a red mage temple, though. Almost kind of assumed it was like a X'rhun who... I suppose they just moved in once the... after it was abandoned. Suppose now I think about it, it does almost shape of the structure almost makes sense like that. Balance between the top and the bottom, inverted. Balance between white and black magic. There we go. X'rhun, let's begin our expedition, shall we? And be on the lookout for stone tablets bearing the histories of the Red. Did I mention that it was our forebears in the art who constructed the ziggurat? It was built to suppress the unstable weather that was whipped up in the wake of that era's calamity. A sort of dampening weight that slowed the land's raging currents of Aether to a trickle. In time, however, the ziggurat also became a library, where successive generations of red mages enshrined their stories and their secrets. It is a shame that so many of these precious slates have since been lost to plunderers or simply worn down by the ravages of time. As such, I do not expect to find a fully intact record of Lambert's ghastly rite, but at the very least we should discover hints of what the transformation ritual entails. You take one way, and I'll take another, and we'll both take care not to fall prey to Cockern bandits. Right. I should start at the top, work my way down. This looks like... well, it's a tablet anyway. Something about a potion. I'll have to check with Sorin about this. I can't quite read all of it. There's one. It's mentions Amdapor a bit, but still not quite sure. I suppose in the Temple of the Red, it would make sense that they'd have Amdapor and Marquee texts. I'll find anything Nimian around here. Early history of the Red Mages, maybe somewhere in this. X'rhun? How did you fare? I discovered a number of tablets myself, which, while positively fascinating, offered little on the subject of occult rituals. I found a few tablets. Any of these look like they'd be helpful? Oh-ho! If I'm reading this one correctly, you may have found exactly what we were looking for. I did? It appears to be a record from a time before red magic was unified as a distinct discipline. This passage describes a rite by which one can make a pact with a void scent, and ingest its blood in exchange for supernatural power. Even amongst their kin, certain creatures of the void harbor a voracious appetite for living Aether. Lambert must have acquired the ability to siphon his victim's life force from one such fiend. The practice in question is said to have started with a family of Marquee sorcerers, who lived in the era preceding the sick Vumbral calamity. For red mages, whose arts draw so heavily upon their own Aether, there is an obvious, if distasteful, advantage to stealing a foe's life energies. And if one can employ such energies to fortify and sustain one's own form, as Lambert did, then one can even wield magics beyond the limitations of ordinary mortals. Not surprisingly, however, its tendency to result in the Aether-starved madmen led to the rite being declared a forbidden art. But there's more. Some mention of an alchemical concoction that would serve to sate the hunger for Aether when living prey was unavailable. And a helpful scribe has even included a method for its preparation. Well, then, it's not a cure, but we've got something, right? Arya's transformation was strikingly similar to Lambert's. Surely this concoction would prove effective at curbing her condition as well. Let's see here. It seems the main ingredient is a chunk of semi-crystallized aether. Such substance could be drawn from the core of an Urlif, and I'm thinking the bigger the better. If I recall correctly, there are Urlifs to be found to the east, in the vicinity of the Sleeping Stones. Pray find yourself one of the larger specimens and procure an ethereal core. Once you have what we need, we can rendezvous in the hamlet of Alagana. I shall busy myself collecting the other ingredients. Right. I think I remember having to collect cores from Urlifs before for something. Remember correctly, they're over here. Maybe. Probably check further in to the quarry. Maybe there'll be large. I'm looking for larger ones. A few, but these are all seeming fairly average sized. Because the more we can procure now, the more cure we can make. Oh, there's one who looks a little more sizable. Right. Okay. This is... I'm gonna guess you could make a fair bit of potion from this. Suppose then we just need to find an alchemist who can actually make the potion. Unless X'rhun's dabbled in that a bit himself. I've dabbled in making jewelry a bit, but that's the most of it. X'rhun? Were you able to procure a suitable core? I think so. This one look good enough? Ah, yes. This will do nicely. Enough to create a decent-sized dose at any rate. A dose, sir? I've gathered together the other ingredients, so all that's left to do is deliver them into the hands of an experienced alchemist. Ah, but Arya must be wondering where we are. Why don't you go on ahead to Eorzea and avail her of our progress? I'll meet you there as soon as I'm finished haggling with the potion mixer in Nulda. Good luck with that, sir. Better you than me. Guess then it's just to hope that Arya's actually been listening and using too much magic. I think she's sensible enough to not take risks like that. Arya? How are you holding up? Me and X'rhun think we might have found something to help. A kind of potion. And it's supposed to help with the hunger? That'll be one less worry then. You think Sorin will be back soon? He's haggling Nulda, so I can't really say. Oh. Never mind. I'm returned. Arya, pray drink this concoction, and I shall tell you of our discoveries in Garlemald. By the gods! The taste was not exactly pleasant, but I already feel much recovered. As if a cool stream of water was poured on the fire in my chest. I don't know how to thank you. Your smile is the finest reward we could ask for. But I ask that you do not become complacent. The tonic is merely meant to help replenish your depleted aether. It will do naught to undo the underlying affliction. I understand. If I exhaust my mana again, I'll be back where I was. Savage, controlled by hunger. Which means I should still give up on training for now. For now. So, you think Lambert infused me with void-sent blood while I was being held captive? According to what I found in the Yellow Jacket's incident records, the span of time that elapsed between your kidnapping and the subsequent rescue is not terribly long. And for much of your ordeal, you were shut inside a box. It seems unlikely that there was sufficient opportunity to perform a highly complicated and dangerous ritual. Oh, we must look elsewhere for the truth behind your condition. You must let me help you. If it allows me to begin practicing magic again, even one day earlier, it's torture watching the moments pass, wasting time I could be using to catch up to you. Even if you take a break at minute, Arya, I'll catch up. I'll certainly try, though I'm not sure what help I'll be. I think we'll have our suffering friend delve into the scrolls for us. The Charlians have left behind a veritable mountain of lore through which we can dig for answers. Sorin, I shall leave you to your training. After all, you must give Arya an ever-growing peak to look up to. Right. I'll do my best. To be a... goal? Greetings, Sorin. Arya and I have begun wading through a sea of ancient text, but we've yet to fish out any promising cures for her condition. We did, however, recall something which may help narrow down our search. Long ago, Lambert had one particular book which he would read with uncommon intensity. I've forgotten the title now, but I do remember that inside were scrawled the memoirs of a deranged killer who was executed as a heretic in Ishgard. The criminal is said to have committed a number of ritualistic murders, all carried out with a most peculiar form of thaumaturgy. I merely thought it a vulgar choice of reading material at the time, but now I wonder if that peculiar form of thaumaturgy was what kept Lambert glued to its pages. It sounds positively awful, and yet it might just give us the clues we've been missing. I'll see if I can't track those memoirs down. I understand it's quite a rare volume. When it comes to hunting down elusive treasures, it may be worth consulting a professional treasure hunter. Sorin, are you acquainted with Midnight Dew? Why don't you take Arya and pay her a visit? I think I've spoken to her a couple of times while I've been around. I will try my hand at a different route. It's a long shot, but Rowena is known to stock a truly eclectic range of wares. Watch yourself there, sir. Go. Arya? Is this the Midnight Dew Sorin asked us to meet? It is indeed. Midnight? Ah, it's you. Something you need? Ah, a heretic's memoirs for the young lady here. Bit of an odd request, but who am I to judge? We don't really know the title. Something about thaumaturgy and... Oh, so you're working for X'rhun then? Thought you wanted it for some sort of tasteless personal collection. Let me think now. Guardian heretic, ritualistic killings... Oh, else it couldn't be. One of my fellow salvagers was just telling tales of a treasure he'd spied in the Great Cabal Library. A rare book called Nightkin. Claims he glimpsed the title as he was running for his life through Rhapsody's quadrangle. It is a sought-after tome for collectors of the macabre. Said to be written by an Ishgardian murderer who believed himself some manner of demon. Half a diary, half a grimoire, and chock full of bloody lunacy. Well, it certainly fits the description. But we should head back to Rowena's and share the news of X'rhun. Right. Thank you for your help, Midnight. It's in the library. I suppose I've been through there before. That was a while ago. It was before... Kind of. It was before we'd actually landed on Azazla. When we were back trying to find a way past the barrier. Yes, Nightkin! That was the title! Written by a killer who thought himself born of fiends. Such a belief would certainly brand him a crazed heretic in Ishgard. But I suspect the truth is he was much like Lambert, a mage who delved too deeply in forbidden arts. And you say the book was seen in the Great Gabal Library. I have not entered the place since the Sharlians departed this land. What of you, Sorin? I've been through there myself once. Down to the forbidden section to find another tome. Like the back of your hand, eh? Well then, I vote for you to be our guide. I hadn't known the library's guardians had turned hostile. I'm sorry, Arya, but you will have to remain behind. No sense putting you in a situation where you might be forced to fling spells. Oh, I would have liked to see those fabled shells, but you're right, of course. Come, Sorin, let us hurry through the hinterlands ere some intrepid scavenger makes away with our prize. We'll be back before you know it, Arya. The library, then. Given my own growth since last year, I don't think it'll be too much of a problem getting through. I'll not have to fight that ever-living bibliothèque again. That one was a bit... I think just the two of us stopping it summoning more void scent would be more of a challenge. Hello, Alexander? Quadrangle, that is the forbidden section where I fought the... I can't even remember his name. The Biblio something. X'rhun? Right, let's not dawdle once we're inside. We make straight for Rhapsody's Quadrangle and leave as soon as we've acquired the tome. From what I remember, the book Lambert would read was of fair thickness and bound in leather covers. Hopefully it will not be too difficult to find. Hopefully, sir, but I have been in there before and there's a lot of books. But at least we have a destination. More lair than library now. Lead the way, my friend. Guardians are back. Remember those owls had a habit of summoning help. None of these look like they're one. I understand the desire to protect one's collection, but these guardians seem a touch overzealous. Oh, these aren't as bad as the ones we fought last time I was here, sir. Okay, that hurts. Oh. Okay, right, I might have bitten off more than I can chew here. Right. Okay. Right. Gotta be careful. I'm not a tank. Take them one grip at a time. Still not seen much. Suppose we can have a proper look once the air is clear. Is these free? Oh. The quadrangle is up ahead, just a little further now. Let's deal with this guardian and then we can take our time looking for books. Okay. Here we are. How to find that book? Well, yes. The year 960 of the Sick Vassal era, a murder did occur when a member of the clergy was struck down by a knight of common birth. A knight whose name was X'rhun wet his blade in the priest's blood after witnessing the unspeakable abuse of an orphan wife under pretense of an exorcism. May his conviction in the face of corrupted faith be praised. Doesn't seem quite right. What about here? Pages contain incredibly detailed pictures of female deities in various stages of undress. No male divinities appear to be included in this collection. No, not that one. The tome we seek is titled The Nightkin. Right, not that one, sir. Right. Arcana Killer. During the Foreign Dynasty, a series of unsolved killings shook the very foundations of Ul'dah. The murderer was so named for the practice of leaving a card from the deck of Arcana by the bloodied bodies of the slain. Officials publicly suggested that the murderer selected targets based upon divination. Several key figures of a faction that opposed the royal house were prominent among the victims, however. It was whispered that the seemingly random slaughter was merely cover for political assassination. That's not the book. I need to stop getting distracted by the ones that aren't. What's this one? An Angel in Darkness. I can't even read that one. Not this one either, friend. Try another. You needn't read every page, my friend. Today I visited the Twelves with Lady Amandine. Remember her. The Dartencours, a regular patron of mine, bid me call upon her household. I set off with confidence, my latest masterpiece in hand, but it was within the walls of Hog Manor that I beheld the true pinnacle of perfection. Oh, he's here. Ah! We've aroused the Guardian. Let us dispatch this nuisance. He's a little more than a nuisance, this one, sir. Oh. Stand back. And close it. Oh. Bring it up to the corner. It doesn't seem to be trying to summon anything this time, at least. Spoke too soon. It calls forth more of its ilk. Step into circles to break the summons. I remember, sir. Don't worry. Right. If it uses the triple circles, though, we're in a slight spot of bother. Okay, I'm not... Nearly there. Oh. Watch that. We almost have it. End sorry tale, Sorin. Working on it, sir. The bookish behemoth has fallen, and it appears a prize was hid within its belly. More books. Nightkin. I am a descendant of demons, a scion of tainted blood. It is for my brethren born into darkness, for the Nightkin, that I pen these words. The holy men will insist my teachings are madness, the ravings of a deranged killer, but you shall learn that all I scribe henceforth is eldritch truth, their faith the twisted lie. We didn't tear in this place. I breathed my fill of moldy parchment. Right. Now just get this back to Eorzea and... study, I guess. You did well in there, Sorin. I've never known acquiring a book from a library to be such a strenuous endeavor. May I see the tome? Of course. Here you go, sir. Yes. The author certainly does seem convinced of his demonic heritage. See how the clergy of the time would have passed these writings off as a heretic's delusion. But the spellcraft contained within is odd but incoherent rambling. Within his memoirs, the mages provided specific instructions on the workings of forbidden sorcery. Little wonder that Lambert spent so much of his time studying the tome's secrets. But there is more. Much more. Let's return to Eorzea. Arya needs to hear this. Right. Hopefully it's got some good news in it. Always feels like such a random place for there to be a summoning bell. Arya? Welcome back. Sorin's had his head buried in that book since he returned. I'm not surprised. I've just finished slogging through the last pages of Nightkin. And there were truths I discovered which made it difficult to continue, but amongst a mounting sense of horror, I found hope. As I bid you listen until the end of my tale, I shall begin with the author himself. Right. And so, this man who wrote the Nightkin was not merely some disturbed killer, but a mage who had mastered the arts of the ancients. Exactly so. A century ago in Ishgard, this monster in mortal guise devoured all manner of forgotten texts, teaching himself everything from red magic to Maki summoning rituals. The secret to his seemingly inexhaustible power lies in his bloodline. He was directly descended from a Maki Archmagus who had ingested the lifeblood of the void-sent Queen Lilith. In fact, it was this very Archmagus that the vile practice of infusing oneself with void-sent blood first began. I believe I told you how the Red Mages later outlawed these rituals, but the damage had already been done. Lilith's insidious energies had been passed on to the Archmagus' heirs. This clan of aether-drinking spellcasters became known as those who were born into darkness, the Nightkin. The revelation which truly shook me, however, was yet to come. I discovered that Lambert was a scion of the Nightkin clan, and quite likely, so are you, Arya. Then does have void-sent blood. The book's author was of the Kalawai's family, a surname shared by Lambert. With no small amount of trepidation, I determined to look once more into your family's records and learned that the Kalawai's name was also prevalent on your mother's side. This can be no coincidence. Are you saying that void-sent blood runs in my veins? It explains your preternaturally strong affinity for black magics. When I remember that Lambert was of a similar arcane disposition, the connection is even more obvious. He had no need to ingest fiendish blood. He simply awoke the corruption which had always lurked within him. The rituals for doing so were clearly described in the pages of the Nightkin. Were these rituals performed upon me too? Again, it is doubtful considering their complex requirements. My theory is that your latent talents were stirred into wakefulness quite by accident, through your induction into the ranks of the Red. I wonder, however, why the same awakening that took years for Lambert occurred so swiftly in you. An innate affinity, mayhap. Whatever the case, that this unstable condition was triggered by your desire for control certainly explains Lambert's parting barb about the injustice of your fate. You said there was hope at the end, right? But all is not lost. There is a way to undo the curse of your lineage. The first Kalawais drew Lilith into our physical world by providing a mortal host for her soul to possess. He stood unflinching before the fiendish queen he had summoned and forged with her a bargain of blood and darkness. Once the Archmagus had partaken of her essence, however, he entrapped her inside a heavily glyphed box. Her material form thus captured, Lilith was unable to return to her shadowy realm. It was written that her imprisonment on this plane of existence was a necessary act, lest the potency of her blood begin to wane. You understand what this means, Arya? I think so. The corruption inside me will last only as long as the Void-Sent Queen remains in our world. Oh, I see. We need to find that box and banish Lilith back into the Void. Exactly right. Defeat the Void-Sent and the curse upon your blood is lifted. Of course, a creature of Lilith's stature would ordinarily present a near insurmountable challenge. We are fortunate then that the summoner bound her essence to a feeble vessel to prevent her from manifesting her full power. Even we few should stand a chance against this lesser incarnation. Now, it appears the author succeeded in tracking down Lilith's prison, and though the book makes no mention of the event, it is entirely possible that the box passed into his possession. Our surest bet will be to follow in his footsteps. Rest and prepare, my friend. We have an exciting adventure ahead of us. Right. Off to track down a Void-Sent. Is my internet not be too happy today? Ah, Sorin! Your fellow student has had the most astonishing dream. Why didn't you tell him about it, Arya? It was so disturbingly vivid. I dreamed of the man who wrote the Nightkin. In a corner of the house in which he hid away from the world, he kept a coffin-like box. Black as night, its sides marked with jagged lines of purple. As he watched over it, unblinking, an inquisitor broke through the door of a company of knights. Half the soldiers were ordered to haul the man away to the tribunal, while the other half seized the coffin. This coffin, if you describe, is the very image of a Maki tool of containment. It's as if you saw a vision of past events. It was probably just a nightmare, brought on by the tales in those memoirs. Well, as things stand, your dream is the best lead the memoirs have given us. Just pay a visit to the tribunal in Ishgard. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, I say. Right. I'm just a little... I've seen coffins like that back on the Void Ark. I just hope it's not a... No, it couldn't be on the... Ishgard has been around for quite a while. Could it have gotten onto the Ark? I need to brush up on my history some more. Right. Hello there, sir. Are you an acquaintance of these outsiders? Yes? Oh, you're here. X'rhun seems to be having trouble negotiating with the official. Some of Ishgard's officials are a little hard to talk with. Sorin, thank the gods. This officious bureaucrat refuses to allow me access to their records. How he will listen to you. Sorin, did you say? What strange coincidence. Did you bear the same name as... it is you, in the flesh. My apologies for not recognizing you sooner. Whatever the hero of Ishgard requires, we shall not hesitate to provide. But this was in regards to the heretic killer who left those awful memoirs, yes? Your request shall be given the highest priority. Pray understand, however, that records of objects seized in the previous century are not immediately at hand. It may take some time to scour the archives. Just like that, eh? A moment ago you were ready to cast me out into the snow. Mayhap you should take Arya on a tour of the city. I'll stay here with our new friend and help guide his search. Oh, right. Being the savior of Ishgard comes in handy sometimes. I suppose we would just be in the way here. Could we go to the last vigil? I hear the view is spectacular. Of course. Right by the house of a good friend. I hope she doesn't know where she's going. I thought when X'rhun said to go around, it wasn't too familiar. So? What do you think of the view? This is amazing! I was told you could look over the entire city from up here, and I couldn't wait to see it for myself. Remember something like this back in, Eorzea? If they come with a view such as this, I am. I would ask why you keep asking me that, but I'm afraid the answer would lead to even stranger questions. To be honest, though, I wanted to burn this first sight of Ishgard into my mind. To fill the empty spaces in my memory with wonderful vistas. When you first rescued me, I knew not who I was or where I belong. As I've said before, I scarcely felt that I existed. The well of my memories is no longer empty. Though it has been but a small fraction of my life, my journey with you has shaped me into what I am now. So you can understand why I'm so eager to return to our training. Red magic has given me the power to fight against a fate that would have left me hollow. Sorin, Arya, we've learned the resting place of Lilith's prison. As incredible as it may seem, the coffin from your dream matched the description of the heretic's box, purple lines and all. The Inquisitors were apparently so unnerved by its fell energies that they cast the thing into a ravine. The place in question is known by the delightful name of Witchdrop. It is to be found in the Curvus Central Highlands. Swarming with void scent, or so I'm told. Shall we? Right. Time to get you back to training. Witchdrop. There they are. Arya? Do you feel that? It's as if the whole ravine is pulsing with evil. Is the right place, Sorin? Cosmos crawling with fiends, just as described. Are they drawn by Lilith's dark essence, I wonder? Let's descend into its depths and begin digging. Now the very power which attracts the void scent will help guide our efforts. Right. Oh, you will be able to follow us down there, won't you, Arya? I seem to recall you had a crippling fear of ghosts and spirits. No, I'm fine. There are no skeletons or specters here, so I'll be fine. Perfectly fine. So fine, you felt the need to tell me 3 times? Well, considering your current troubles with spellcasting, you'd best stay close in any case. Down we go. Does seem a bit of a random place for there to be void scent from. Snow here seems quite shallow. Wouldn't be buried here, it'd be out in plain sight. I don't see anything. X'rhun? There would not have been so much damnable snow 100 years ago. Search would have been far easier before the calamity. Suppose. I told you, I'm fine. There are no ghosts here that I can see. Perfectly, completely fine. If you say so. I'll go check the other side of the cave. Hello, sir. Though the souls of the righteous ascend to Halone's halls, their earthly forms are not as afforded the same honor. But goodly men and women deserve proper burials, and so all who come down must go up. This is where they execute supposed heretics, isn't it? Or rather, if you do die, you're absolved of the accusations. It's only if you fly that you're not. Oh, guess I better start digging. Very glad I brought gloves with me. Anything over here? Still nothing. Out here in the corner. Definitely something here. Right. If this isn't a void scent coffin, then I don't know what is. Yep. That's definitely... I better go fetch you. Or open it? Only one bearing my... oh, excuse me. Only one bearing my blood gift may break the seal. Slay this pretender! Excuse me? I have a feeling I better be ready for... Oh! Okay, they're not quite the same as the other void scent here. Definitely feeling a bit stronger as well. Right. Well, I'm not opening it. Guess I best go let X'rhun know that I found something. Something that is very probably what we're looking for. X'rhun? Under a shallow mound of snow, you say? Extraordinary. This does seem to be locked, though. Only one bearing my blood gift. Could this mysterious voice belong to Lilith herself? Let me try opening the coffin. the voice is telling the truth, then I'm the only one who can. Very well. Sorin, lead us to your dig site. Right, it's just over here, our side of the cave. Or... Well, that's a demonic box if I ever saw one. I find myself understanding the decision to drop it into a ravine and never speak of it again. You doing okay, Arya? It looks just as it did in my dream. I'm going to open the lid. I can feel the waves of malice even through the wards. This is no lowly imp. Proceed with caution, Arya. Lilith may be in a weakened state, but she is still queen amongst her kind. Let us not be caught unprepared. Right. Queen of the Void Sent. But wasn't that... Scafach? Can't be worse than the Cloud of Darkness or... Diabolos, right? Oh, was not expecting bright light. Gods above! I'm guessing that's Lilith? At last I am free of that miserable prison. 1,000 years of scheming cometh to fruition. Yield unto me thy vessel, child. Thou shalt be host to mine immortal glory. That's... not the plan. Right, Host, you seek to possess Arya's body. It's a masterpiece of centuries. For generations have I guided the dreams of my blood-gifted, bringing them together and strengthening their line. When at last the chosen one was born, I sent another to secure my precious vessel. He commanded his own puppets, never knowing he was mine. Lambert! Heed me, child, my darling creation. I am the reason for thine existence, for the entanglement of thy sires, for thy deliverance unto solitude. Do not listen, Arya! Her words are poison. Come, deny not thy destiny. Thy life was molded by my hand. This was always meant to happen. My parents, my uncle, all of it? Arya? Sweet child. Arya? Arya, no! Sir? X'rhun? What now? There's got to be a way after them, right? God damn it! Arya moved as if entranced. Lilith must have some hold over those who bear her blood. It was Arya's dream that led us here. Into a trap, if we are to believe that... No, into a trap. If we are to believe that hissing serpent, this meeting was 1,000 years in the making. But all is not lost. See how she did not immediately claim Arya's body for her own. What I understand of such things, in order to possess a mortal host, Lilith must conduct a ritual of exacting preparations. There's time yet to deduce the location to which she fled. Let us return to the pillars and consider the possibilities. Right. Hopefully before it's too late. But this definitely isn't what Arya wanted. X'rhun? Lilith's words yet echo in my ears. Deny not thy destiny. Thy life was moulded by my hand. Arya became a red mage to gain control over her fate. And I'll be damned if we abandon her to this one. Right. Just to find out where she went. But first things first. We must expend every effort towards finding the place where the Void Scent has taken our colleague. The ritual preparations will not take forever. Sorin, I have decided we should go to the Thaumaturge's Guild in Ul'dah. For help with tracking down Arya, of course. I've been doing some research into Void Scent and possessions. As I suspected, the process is not a simple one. Even so, I doubt we have the time for me to become a fully fledged expert on the subject. We need one right now. The Thaumaturges are one of the few organizations familiar with our quarry. Considering how they are also the modern successors to the arcane knowledge of Mach, their shelves may even hold the ancient lore that could tell us more about Lilith. Let us be away. Right. Otherwise... Well, I know who might... Some clue? Maybe I could go and... ask XIV? Knows anything? He was the familiar for a Maki sorcerer, after all. X'rhun? Oh, Sorin. I've just been explaining our woes to Prelate Yayaka here. Welcome to the Thaumaturge's Guild. I shall do what I can to aid you. Now then, the tomes of passages pertaining to the Void Scent Lilith are all forbidden occult works. Abhorrent volumes chained to the shelves in our deepest archives, never again to see the light of day. I'll just pop back there and grab one or two. If you could wait over there for a moment. Wait, that was... I was expecting that to be sarcasm for a moment. By fall, she's even more sinister than I'd imagined. No mention of her presence in the past millennium I had thought Lilith destroyed. Yet it would seem she is very much alive and exceedingly dangerous. Her most fearsome aspect is the power to enslave a person's will. If we include all those with even a whisper of her essence within their veins, she has slivered inside the minds of a veritable army. The sigil employed by this Lambert of yours is a second-hand manifestation of Lilith's ability. He wouldn't but need to coat a tool with his tainted blood, then engrave her name in the flesh of his victims to create the unthinking puppets you described. And that was but a faint echo of her true power? Correct. A power she will not hesitate to bring to bear on the mortal she so despises. Archmagus Kalawai is made doubly sure of that when he lured her into his trap. As well as a talent for draining the life force of her prey, Lilith is also known for spitting venom. A truly hideous opponent. But the Archmagus came prepared with potent antidotes. Undone by her summoner's treachery and the limitations of her mortal host, Lilith found herself divested of her beloved rod and sealed inside a Maki sarcophagus. And then spent the next 1,000 years plotting her escape. It is as you say. Mere freedom is not her endgame. Above all else, I imagine Lilith desires a form which allows her to manifest the fullness of her terrible power. She means to reinvest her soul within the perfect vessel, and thus enhance the strength of her incarnation by an order of magnitude. The perfect vessel. Lilith carefully orchestrated Arya's conception over the span of centuries. If we do not oppose her now, I dread to think what havoc such a cunning and powerful fiend could wreak upon Eorzea. Look what she has accomplished already. So subtle were her manipulations that not a single one of the Nightkin realized her plan, or sought to destroy her. Well, this has all been very enlightening, but we're still no closer to finding Arya. Have you any ideas? In order to invest herself in a new host, Lilith will need to recreate the conditions of her original summoning as faithfully as possible. Alignment of the stars, weather, location, that sort of thing. The location I can tell you. Assuming the ground itself hasn't fallen into an abyss, Lilith will have taken your friend to a summoning circle in the ruined city of Mach. I've actually been there before. So you've been to the Weeping City? No getting there without an airship and a pilot, eh? I know some people. Oh, but not to worry. We know the very person who can help us out on that count. Deputy President Jessie of the Garlemald Ironworks. I shall contact her immediately. Right. Yes. Jessie's probably a more reliable point of contact than going straight to Sid. He's often carried away with his own little projects, if I understand correctly. I've been in touch with Jessie. After that assassination business, as she puts it, he was more than happy to lend us a company ship. Prelate Yayake, you've been an immense help. How can we repay you? That won't be necessary. The guild was already richly compensated by a certain merchant. He requested we aid any mages of the Red who might happen to seek our knowledge. Are you acquainted with Master Wilkin? It would seem he's been quite generous in spreading his wealth around Ul'dah to ensure you encounter no refusals or inconveniences. Master Wilkin? He was that merchant we helped out when... Well, the gratitude of a wealthy merchant is a fine thing to have. Right, this time we were off to Revenant's Hall. Jessie will be waiting. Right. Don't forget to stock some antidotes. I'll be terribly disappointed to hear you died to Lilith's venom after the tale I told you. Oh, right. I'll see if I can grab a couple. Esna isn't quite in the... None of these are antidotes. I have a feeling X'rhun gives you some before the battle, but I don't know if I want to trust that. If I remember correctly about this one, having an antidote is actually important. See if I can't get some... Hello, sir. Just looking for some antidotes. There. Thank you, sir. Goes there. And off to Revenant's Hall. Miss Jessie? Miss Jessie? Sorin's told me the story, and I have an airship ready to fly. I'll pilot you into the swamp myself. I said I'd return to favorite Arya, and I don't mean to go back on my promises. Shall we go? I'm moored on the northern bank of the lake. Sorin, plan's simple. We cut through the ruins as quickly as we can, and unleash merry hells on the Voidsent Queen. The outcome of this battle will decide Arya's fate. Bring everything you have. And make sure that includes a vial or two of antidote. Don't worry, sir. Stocked up while I was in Ul'dah. Into the Weeping City. Hold on a little longer, Arya. Setting off from the same place we... Lambert. Lilith and the Weeping City wait. Not to sound like a nagging nanny, but you did bring an antidote, didn't you? Jessie herself will be taken to Helm, so speak with her when you're ready to depart. Ready then? Got your gear? Emptied your bladder? We make straight for the ruins of Mach. Right, off we go. All aboard, folks. I don't know much about this demon witch, but you send her back to the Void. I want to see Arya safe and sound. We all do, ma'am. Lilith only has one chance at this ritual, but once she knows we're there to stop her, she may well begin the ceremony anyway. Conditions be damned. If that happens, then we must defeat the fiend ere she forces her soul into Arya's body. We will triumph over Lilith and free our companion from her curse. Right. No maybes. We're doing this. We must rescue Arya before it's too late. Where... be familiar... Okay, I know where we are. Swift and sure, we've no time for subtlety. These seem like the other voids, similar to the voids that were here last time. I think I just right-clicked on acceleration already. Cut through these pests. Oh. That looks like something's going on over there. Right. Something's up. I felt that insidious aura before. Lilith was here. Arya as well. Lilith? No pleasantries. Meddlesome vermin. The vessel is mine. The alignment is not perfect. It shall suffice. No, that light. She means to force the transference. And we stop it before she has a chance, right? Ow. Here's the poison. Venom, just as we anticipated. Now's the time to use that antidote. Wretched mortals, I will sup on the marrow of your souls. Do you feel that chill? It's the same with Lambert. That's right. Don't be wounded. Ah! Didn't quite make it. For centuries have I planned this moment. Your skulls will adorn my throne. Our failure to perish appears to have upset her. Keep wearing her down. Right. Okay. Oh, that's not wrong. You think me beat? Infernal flames of the void, consume these worms. Oh. You summons fiery spheres as the Lambert. No. This is worse. So much worse. Right. Okay. Sniveling, pestilent maggots. All the children of man shall suffer for mine imprisonment. Victory is ours and is in our grasp. Let us slay this monster and take Arya home. Right, one more. Arya? That's... We did it, right? Arya? She's okay, right? Arya! Lilith is slain. Come back to us now. Damn it. Why won't she wake? Were we too late? Or... Where am I? Where is everyone? See, this is... I'm being forced aside by that fiend. Yes, accept thy fate, child. Mine own form was destroyed, but within thy vessel has my soul taken refuge. Once thy will have diminished unto oblivion, mine essence shall transform this shell. I will rise anew, glorious and complete, and then shall I wreak my vengeance upon all the children of man. Seek not to defy me, my darling creation. Surrender to the void. Surrender to me. Lilith created me. I have to accept this fate. It was what I was always meant to be. Give me, Sorin. There were so many more memories I'd hoped to make. Farewell. No! This cannot be all there is. I want more. I want to live. Do not torture yourself, child. Your will is forfeit. Thy fate is sealed. I decide my own fate. Arya? Arya! Welcome back, my friend. X'rhun? Sorin? Look out! Lilith is still here. She is? Sign of her. Your soul is safe now. Lilith is gone. You triumphed over her at the last. A chance I wouldn't have had if you'd not destroyed her into flesh. With a stout heart and the power of red magic, there is no foe we cannot overcome. As the two of you have so amply proven. Just doing my best, sir. Now, let us put this dreary ruin behind us. But have a care for your surroundings. This old city is home to more than sinister void scent. Oh, hello, airship. How are you feeling, Arya? You have my thanks, Sorin. I would not be standing here now without you. Thanks for the help, Jesse. I was caught up in the moment when we set off, but I'd sooner not steer a ship anywhere near that place again. I've seen a couple of airships shot down over there, so I don't blame you. X'rhun? We did it, Sorin. It was a hard-won battle, but your heart and steel carried the day. And we must express our gratitude to Jesse for conveying us to the ruins in the first place. Hey, as but returning to favour. Unlike certain presidents I could mention, I don't like to leave the books unbalanced. Now, I'd best be getting this girl back to the company docks, so this is farewell for me. Take care, Jesse, and thank you. Shall we head back to town, then? Oh, back to the hall. Maybe I was just not wearing, like, as good equipment as I should have been when I did the Red Mage quests for my main character. But I remember the antidotes felt a bit... I suppose I didn't actually let the poison do much damage to me. I don't think so. If I did miss it, then very much yes. I don't think I need the antidotes. I remember them feeling pretty important the first time I did it. You're still holding up okay, Arya? When were you last in Revenant's Hall? It seems like a lifetime ago. I mean, for me it was about an hour and a half ago, but we'll brush past that. Oh, there's not like a successful rescue attempt to put a smile on my face. It was wonderful to have our companion back, safe and sound. It's wonderful to be back. I cannot wait to begin my training once more. Arya, about your training. Surely you felt the change within yourself. X'rhun? Your proclivity for spellcasting was a property of Lilith's blood. Now that her corruption has faded from your veins, so too has your aptitude for the arcane. Yes, I feel the difference. Aefer is so weak now that I doubt I could cast even the simplest of magics. I wondered how you would take the news, but I'm almost happy. I am. This way I get to study magic from scratch, and know that all my achievements will truly be mine. Of course, this means I'll have a lot more work to do before I can catch up to Sorin. But having such a distant goal will be what pushes me to endure the training ahead. Oh, just be careful, okay? I promise I won't be running into danger. Not until I've mastered a little more magic, at least. You have the heart of a red mage, that's for certain. Start yourself off with the basics of thaumaturgy and conjury. The foundation you've built yourself will be far more stable than the instinctual power you possessed before. And when you've grasped the fundamentals, I can start your training in red magic again. I look forward to that day, X'rhun. As for you, Sorin, you've grown stronger than ever. You've known for some time now that the magics of a red mage are fueled by the caster's own Aefer. The potency of your spells is a reflection of your indomitable spirit. I dare say that the soul crystal you bear will reward your dedication to the art by granting you new knowledge. Thus concludes my stint as mentor for the now. Sorin, you've graduated from my lessons. And Arya, you must ready yourself to begin all over again. You have flung yourself into Revolution's smouldering ashes and reignited the fires of Alamigo's glory. Remember the light you brought with that liberation when next you plunge ahead into darkness. Sorin, you speak as if you mean to leave us. Aye, I must return to my pilgrimage. Fear not, those who defy the tides of destiny are always drawn together, sooner or later. And so this is not farewell, merely a temporary parting of ways. Eagerly do I await the days our paths cross again, my friends. I'm sure we'll see him again soon enough. For holy... Unyielding mastery of the red calls forth new power. I am glad I've got deep holy. It bothers me sometimes when you have like half of a combo. But that's all I'll be doing this time around. That, yeah, definitely lower level. Is that the outfit that? Oh no, it's not. It is different. It's the hostile code, isn't it? It's augmented Shire. I think that's still the best gear I can have. But I will be back tomorrow with more Nier Automata, starting properly into A2's route, which I am very keen to get playing a bit more of after Wednesday night session. No, Tuesday nights. I missed Wednesday's stream. Then I'll be back on Monday with Okami. Sorin will be back on Wednesday, where I'll think I'm going to be doing the Ivalice raids first. And then I'll be doing the Omega storyline. And following that, before we start into the... Oh, no. I nearly forgot something very important. There's more Hildebrand to do as well. But yeah, that's my plan. Is the Ivalice raids, Omega raids, and then Hildebrand. And I'll follow that up with Sorin, again, having a bit of a job change. Which will be going for Sorin getting his first physical ranged DPS. I'm kind of working through unlocking all of them so that Sorin does then have the option to do all the different role quests that come up in Endwalker and Shadowbringers. Just because I feel like those quests are so... They don't feel like something that should be skipped, like any other side quest. But that's all for the future. But until then, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good night. And I did that wrong. I suppose you have a good evening and a good night. There you go. One of these days I'll actually come up with an outro. But tonight is not that night. Goodbye.